You're nice to our fans, and they're nice to us. Got a little shout out from Eliezer on Instagram. FT on every day. Damn, with travel at times, how the hell does Scotty, Kratz, AJ, and Todd Father do it? Hardest working baseball channel ever. Baseball how it should be covered. Thank you. Thank you. Told you I would mention it today. But you know what the secret sauce is? Remote shows, right?
The boxes.
Yeah. We can be anywhere and still do our show. Thanks, technology. Do you guys remember before COVID, AJ, when everything had to be in person? Like in my last job, every single meeting was in person, even if it was 2 minutes, an hour, whatever. And we would meet like 8 hours before a show.
Not anymore. Not anymore. It's a Zoom world now. Although it's starting to go back a little bit to in person, which I'm all for. I like the in-person stuff way better. I like having to go into the office and see people because you get a better feel for what they're talking about and what they're up to when you got to look them right in the eye. Over a Zoom, you can kind of hide some stuff, but when you get to look someone in the eye, it's like when Mike Maddox goes to the mound and he touches their shoulder like this, you get to feel their heartbeat. So, look someone in the eye. But there was also, you're talking about the one comment, there was also a guy on Twitter that accused us of not liking Junior Camanero's home run celebration. I thought we loved that celebration. We exaggerated a little bit and we played it up, but I thought all three of us thought it was great. I don't think one of us was hating on it, were we? I thought we all loved
sarcasm.
No, I didn't see that. But AJ, the only thing they could point to is when you said, "Hey, every day during the regular season, that might be much," and I said, "Yeah, playoff atmosphere like he did, perfect. Go for it."
Agreed. 100% agreed.
But was he serious or was he kidding?
I don't know.
I didn't see it.
I agree. I don't know. It was some guy. He called us out, and I just laughed. I just wrote back. I go, "You must have been watching a different show." But anyways.
That's my tagline half the time.
So, dude, let me just say this. I am sore. I'm going to be so sore tomorrow. I played paddle today. I had a paddle match today. First one I've had in a while. Ooh, baby. Because what happens is if you never have actually, I work out and I run and whatever. I do work out. But until you like go, meaning like full sprints, like here, there, and zigzag, because paddle's really fast off walls and stuff. I'm telling you, man, my legs, I was sitting down on the couch afterwards, grabbing a quick bite, and I was like, oh, man, I'm going to be sore tomorrow.
Sore legs, right? It's lower body.
Oh, sore legs. Because running, just run, stop, run, stop, run, stop, run. You play it off the wall, so you're against the wall. You got to run to the net. Boom, 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 and it happens fast. And I was like, I'm like, I hope y'all got a defibrillator around here because me and my partner, we're going to need it.
I feel
Did you win?
Yeah.
No, we lost. I played against two guys that were really good, really good. So I played a lefty and a righty, which doesn't seem like a big advantage. But so they did it so that in paddle you can hit off the walls, but they were both their forehands were in the middle, right? So when you serve, it kind of eliminated me serving it to the middle, so I had to serve it to the walls, and if you miss it, then it gives them an easy shot. So it was a real advantage of them having a lefty and a righty because their forehands were in the middle, so you couldn't normally down the middle solves the riddle. Well, this time down the middle got your ass whooped.
And if you're sharing food with a lefty, always make sure that if it's two of you, you sit one on the outside, the other on the outside with the outside hand. Okay, very important.
Otherwise, you're getting elbowed.
Otherwise, yeah. If you don't like the person, then do the reverse. Let's charge the damn mound.
Charging the mound.
All right, let's start with one deal that is done, and we know the money now. Kirby Yates, 1-year contract, $13 million. He can get up to $14 million if he makes 55 appearances. And the Dodgers bullpen at the back end will have guys like Michael Kopech, Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott, etc. That's cool. So there's the answer to your question, Kratz. What was the number that the Dodgers could go to that no other team felt like they could go to? 13.
Just exuberant. That is such an exuberant amount for a pitcher that was dominant last year, was an all-star, stayed healthy. Like, are you kidding me? $13 million? Everybody, every winning team, try to winning team, whatever you want to classify them as, has $13 million for a back end reliever.
Going to be interesting.
We said, what did we say when this signing first started leaking out? Man, if he gets like 13, 14 million, like Ryan Presley's making 14 million and he's got traded, right? And I'm like, man, Kirby Yates, if he only got 13 or 14 million, I was like, even 15 million. The Dodgers are the only team that can afford him. I mean, come on. This is just nobody wants to spend. We're going to get into it here in a little bit about teams that aren't trying, but this is ridiculous. And then if you're not spending at least a little bit on a guy like Kirby Yates had the year that he had last year, then don't come at me and say, oh, well, my team's really trying hard, but we can't afford it. You can afford it. You just don't want to afford it.
Tired.
We're going to be tracking him and tracking certain teams that didn't spend on their bullpens. And these are the kind of names that we're going to bring up. One more, by the way, that popped up this morning, and now we have the money. Tommy Kahnle to the Tigers. We also had Ryan Stanek to the Mets, but we have the money for Kahnle, guy who pops up frequently on this show, who brings a dose of energy to the Yankees clubhouse. Now he's going to the Tigers, 1 year, $7.75 million. The money's important here, guys, because the Astros picked up some of Ryan Presley's money, so the Cubs are paying him $8.5. It's pretty close to the number that Kahnle gets for a year. So a lot of teams are drawing their whatever in the sand and saying, oh no, 13 for Yates. We're more in the 8 to 10 range for these high leverage arms that are not Tanner Scott, who also landed with the Dodgers. What do we think about Kahnle here for the Tigers?
I love this move. Are you kidding me?
I feel like it's a low price.
I love this move. This is a back end guy they need. I mean, he has experience in the postseason. He's pitched in Yankee Stadium. I mean, at some point he's probably going to get traded back to the Yankees. Let's be serious. So about July, it'll be Kahnle to the Yankees for somebody or nobody just to get him back there. But I love this signing for the Tigers. If they do what they did last year with their pitching chaos, as Hinch calls it, I love this. It's just another weapon for him to use at the back end of their bullpen. It's not going to break the bank again. Any team could have signed him, but they didn't want to. But now Tommy's going to be in Lakeland, which is right down the street here. We're going to have to get him to come over.
He's not driving that far in spring training.
No, he's not.
He's not driving that far.
We'll go there.
What did the Guardians do? They just got Paul Sewald as that veteran add to a bullpen that was already legit. You put Kahnle in there. Listen, if you're a young guy and you show up, because they have a lot of young guys in that pen, and you go, oh, I just don't have the energy today. And then Tommy busts through the door, and you're like, good, you're old, and you still have tons of energy. That just brings everybody up. Oh, yeah. And he's a really good pitcher, too.
So
how many changeups? What's the percentage of changeups he's going to throw this year after the whole thing he had last year in the playoffs where he threw 72 straight changeups until Shohei almost yard goated him?
63.
63% changeups? Okay.
And then if the Tigers make the playoffs, 95%.
No, 100%. If the Tigers make the playoffs, it's more like 100%.
Pretty much. Good variety, though, for the Tigers bullpen. I mean, Tommy Kahnle is pretty unique in how much he uses that changeup. You just don't have many guys like him. And that, in my mind, is part of the name of the game for bullpens. How much variety can you bring out so that you just keep getting not just different looks in terms of delivery and left and right, but different arsenals and attack plans. So, yeah, I like it. Obviously, we've all been a fan of him, and he's been a really solid reliever in the bigs for a while now. So he departs from the Yankees, at least for now. Hal Steinbrenner spoke yesterday. Let's go over some notable quotes. We'll start with this one that we can read. It's difficult for most of us owners to be able to do the kind of things they're doing, talking about the Dodgers. We'll see if it pays off. They still have to have a season relatively injury-free for it to work out for them. I'm actually going to pick out the most underrated part of that quote. AJ, the Dodgers are pretty deep. They actually don't have to have an injury-free season to be pretty damn good. They won the World Series last year without a good chunk of their rotation. That's the bearing the lead part, but I just wanted to point that out there.
Is this why the Yankees didn't re-sign Kahnle? They couldn't afford him? at $7.75 million. I mean, the Cubs could have signed Canely and not traded away a prospect for Presley, but I don't know. I mean, it's just weird to me. But some of these rich teams that are crying poor right now. But Hal Steinbrenner knows better than I do and anybody else what his finances are, and I just don't get it because I don't know, man. Like, you're the Yankees. You were used to be the Dodgers, and now you don't want to spend. If George was alive right now, after what happened in the World Series last year, George would have balled everybody.
I wonder what it is. I wonder what, you sit there and you go, I get it. He's afraid of giving more money to other teams. He's afraid of that part of it. So that hit the Yankees right where it hurts. When they made that rule for the CBT tax, anything over that, goes to a revenue sharing, and he's basically paying the other teams to put his good team on the field that's not putting a good team on the field. But my thing is, like, how are they going to change the CBT so that the Dodgers don't do what they're doing? Because this is what they do. They put in all these regulations to get the teams that spend too much to change the regulations. And how, I mean, I hear what AJ's saying, like, only he knows his finances. Please don't, like, I hope he was saying it in jest, like we were saying things in jest about Junior Camareno's home run yesterday, and we're taking this out of context. Like, don't say, like, some of us owners can't do the things that the Dodgers are doing. Stop. Just don't go back there, please.
There's a pride thing, and they just can't hold back.
You're the Yankees.
Yeah.
You're the Yankees. You're the Yankees. You are the Yankees. You're the most valuable franchise almost in all sports, besides some soccer teams probably. You're the Yankees.
You know what I heard? You know what I heard when I was with the Yankees? They said that they did a Q rating for the Yankees. I think it's Q rating. Maybe that's for people, but either way, advertisability. Basically, the only two platforms or the only two companies that had a larger advertisability around the world was Walt Disney World and whoever the president of the United States was that year. And then the Yankees were third. Like, you start talking about, like, not being able to do things, and I get it, the Dodgers are a lot more popular. But you're talking about, I mean, AJ said it. You're the Yankees. Don't go into this area. Don't go into this area. If Mark Antanasio says this, okay, you know what? Bob Nutting says this, boo-hoo. Not you, Hal. Come on, you're one of the good ones.
I mean, you're acting like the Dodgers can do things that you can't do. It's so embarrassing. It's so
Here's
embarrassing.
I travel, obviously, a lot, and I've been around the world a lot. You know what hat you see everywhere you go and is sold everywhere you go?
Dodgers.
New York. No, yeah, I mean, listen, I was going to say, the Dodgers, though, are right behind. It's not like the Dodgers are, but, I mean, everywhere you go, you see an NY hat and you see an LA hat. Those are the two hats you see everywhere. It's occasionally it used to be Red Sox, but not as much anymore. But it is New York and LA. I mean, you can go in. I was just in Thailand. I walked in a store that wasn't even a sporting goods store, and they had NY New York hats. And I'm like, everyone was wearing them. I'm like, what is happening here? We're in Bangkok. We're not in freaking the Bronx.
Well, this is why the Yankees are poor now, because that little store in Thailand did not pay their licensing fee to the Steinbrenners. That's why.
No.
It's a different business, though, okay? This is my intel that I've talked about on the show for the last few years. A lot of mouths to feed in the family and checks to make. That's not how the business used to run. That's how the business runs now, okay? They're a machine. Everyone's got to get theirs. You know, it's like setting up the trust, and they are running it more like a business and less like a evil empire. We're going to win every way that we can. You disagree with me?
I don't think they're totally on there. Without this comment that he made yesterday that we're talking about, I don't feel like they're as business-like. All I would have said before was the fact that before today, I would have said they hate, because he's come out and said it, paying other teams more than they already pay them when they're not trying to be competitive. And so that's why he stays below the CBT.
Okay. Well, then let's get to what he said about his team. Are the Yankees better this year than last year?
Our starting rotation's better. I think our defense is better. And I think, Bellinger and Goldschmidt, I think they're going to make up for, a good deal of Juan's offense, his bat.
You mentioned those two guys, two former MVPs. Mm-hmm. What could that mean in that clubhouse, having guys like that with that type of experience and success?
Well, I've heard great things about both of them, their leadership. We've got a lot of young guys, and we're going to continue to bring young guys up and have them be a part of all this. And those are the kind of players you need, along with the judges of the world. And
You look nervous.
He looked nervous?
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked good, but he looked nervous. But I do agree. Defense better, starting pitching better. Team better?
Dude, don't tell me that, no offense to Cody Bellinger or Paul Goldschmidt, but trying to make up for what Soto did last year. Did anyone look at Goldschmidt's numbers? There's a reason why the Cubs couldn't wait to get rid of Cody Bellinger, because they were like, oh, he's going to opt out again. Oh, crap, he didn't opt out again. Now we're stuck with him, and we have to trade him. Basically, just to lose money, to not eat the money. So, I mean, you're telling me that the Cubs wouldn't have kept Cody Bellinger if he was better? I mean, Paul Goldschmidt was a free agent and took a lesser deal to go there. I mean, there wasn't a team out there clamoring for Goldschmidt to make $25 million this year. He would have taken it. So, I mean, listen, they've been great players in the past. Can they resurrect their career? Sure. But we'll see. I mean, offensively, I don't think they're as good. And then defensively, yes, it couldn't have been worse. And pitching-wise, yes, anytime you add Max Fried. Now, what do they do with Marcus Stroman? There's a lot of rumors out there that he's going to get traded quickly. We'll see.
Didn't he apparently already unfollow the Yankees or something like that? Did you guys see that?
Yes.
How people know that, I have no idea, but great job, Derek Lewandowski.
Yeah. That's right. And also, hey, it's the offseason. You don't have games to watch, so you watch Stroman's follower count and say, wait, he's following one less account. Let me see who it was.
That's
sure
crazy.
There's apps for that. Yeah, that is crazy. So anyway, if you want more from Derek, actually later tonight, 9:00 Eastern time, he'll be live to go over Hal Steinbrenner's comments and get the reaction from the everyday Yankee man pinstripe territory. So make sure you check that out on his channel. And also, before we hit the break, we just ran a poll. I voted. Do you think the Yankees are better this year than last year? Nice and simple. They made the World Series last year. Keep that in mind. They lost Juan Soto this offseason. They added guys like Fried and Goldschmidt. So think about it and then vote if you're able to, and we'll be right back. FT is sponsored by Orgain today. Orgain believes that real nutrition has the power to make a real difference in people's lives. Erik is really, really trying to be the face of Orgain. And on this show, you are. How about that? On this show, you are, since you always put your face right next to it. I, too, have one today. I actually got classy today, so put it in a little cup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that a mason jar?
It's just like a bougie cup, So anyway, you guys know what the deal is. Lots of protein, lots of great taste. And as athletes, you care about what you put in your body. So, of course, you're checking out ingredients. You're checking out what Orgain can bring to the table, and you're feeling good about it. So,
also at AJ's, at AJ's age, it's only 160 calories. That's great for him and all his paddling that he was doing.
Let me just say this, producer lady's not here today. I don't know where she is, but people need to start informing me when we have our production meeting whether I need to bring Orgain or not to the table. Because this is twice now where I would like to have it.
Why do you have to make this a rant?
I had one after my match today. I could have brought the empty cup. I could have brought the empty jar or whatever you want to call that little thing.
By the way, there is a big tub of Orgain, I'm pretty sure, in your vicinity, but you might have to unplug yourself. So by the time that you come back,
Scott, I am not going under your desk.
You mean my lair? Anyway, there are no quick fixes when it comes to your health. If you want more protein, give Orgain 30-gram protein shakes a try. Orgain.com/FOUL30, code FOUL30 for 30% off your order. Best offer that you'll find out there. Got to use the code FOUL30 for 30% off. at Orgain.com/foul30. Oh, I actually have, wait, come back to me for 1 sec, then we'll go to break too. I've been eating this today too. So I know wrappers don't sound great on shows, but this is a brownie protein bar. So
is that the brownie one?
Yeah.
Oh, so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Look at AJ's jealous face. Jealousy
will get me everywhere.
Flattery.
Nobody likes seeing anyone eat on the air, Scott.
I know. Hey, we have a newsletter, and I haven't pointed it out in a while, but it's pretty cool. We work hard behind the scenes to put it together. Scan the QR code, check it out. It's called FT Leadoff. It goes over baseball news and stuff that FT covers. In the weeds. So we're going to let everyone know what's going on in the FT world. We're going to take you behind the scenes. Trevor May was supposed to join us today. He was on the meeting. He was prompt. We were texting, and then a good 10 minutes maybe before the show, gave him a good 10 minutes to just shut the power out in the state of Washington. If you live in the state of Washington and you have power, let us know, because apparently many people don't. Excuse me.
Let me ask this question. Trevor,
yeah.
Trevor, we love you, Trevor, but he said he lived in a building. Like, Trevor, we can't get you a house. Like, we can't get you a house with a generator. You made money, Trevor.
No, he lives in a house.
No, he said
he said his landlord.
He said he had to check his landlord, and the whole building was out. So I don't know if that means unless he has a lot of people living in his house,
or is he a studio? Maybe he has his own studio that he does. He's pro.
He might. So I was watching his show Mayday 2 days ago. He has like this fancy jib camera that he uses at times, because he kind of runs it like Daily Show kind of status, where he'll like do the news and, crumple the papers, whatever. Well, if he comes back, we'll talk to him about it. The point of me bringing this up
is Mayday. I didn't know that.
Mayday.
Did he change the name? Mayday.
Mm-mm. He's got like 5 shows, so that's one of them.
Okay.
So he didn't.
My
change
show will be called Piece of Kratz.
Piece of Kratz territory coming to the FT network next month. Anyway, the reason I brought this up was because I queued up this article for him. It was written by Mike Petriello from MLB.com, friend of the show, but also friend of Trevor. They do those StatCast broadcasts together, and the article now will have to be talked about without him. And if we do get Trevor someday, we can have him chime in. So I'll read it. The whole article. No, just kidding. Why is it so hard to hit at Seattle's T-Mobile Field? A deep dive on how the best pitchers park in baseball creates strikeouts, limits damage, makes it hard to evaluate pitchers and hitters, and why it's about more than just the batter's eye. And in the article, it basically says that Seattle is the most extreme park in baseball. Coors Field boosts offense by 10%. T-Mobile Park suppressed offense by 11%. I feel like this has been a hot topic for a while. Trevor might have a nerdier take on it. I'm going to give you a fan take that I've actually been hearing more and more frequently, AJ. Why don't we just adjust the ballpark dimensions a little bit? Other teams do it. If there's so much complaining about it, and it's not just about the batter's eye, why don't we bring some damn fences in?
I'm just going to say this. I know I'm not a right-handed hitter, but I loved hitting in Seattle. I was trying to find my numbers. I don't know where I can find them, but man, did I feel like I had a good time in Seattle. I loved hitting in Seattle. I'm not going to, my first career home run in Seattle in that ballpark. I hit, home runs off Felix Hernandez and people like that in Seattle. So perfect game. Phil Humber threw in Seattle. Maybe that's why they couldn't get a hit or anybody on base that day. I don't know. But I loved it in Seattle, so I don't know what the problem was. Now, maybe things have changed. I wish they still had the Hit It Here Cafe out in right field, because that was like bullseye in batting practice. Yeah. But I don't know.
Okay, hold up, Kratz. See, to me, that was a Miggy take. Like, how do you hit the ball? Oh, it's just, you hit it. You square it up, you sit in the box and you hit it. Like, AJ, you can't do the, sorry, I'm a really good hitter kind of thing on
I
me,
didn't
because
say
we have
that. I
numbers.
never said that because there was places I sucked.
But you are.
Like Toronto, I sucked in Toronto.
I get that, but
Up
the
on Roy
league,
Halladay pitch.
we've got a big body of statistical evidence that says this park is suppressing offense, and it's not just for the home team, right? The home team has its own issues, and yes, we could come up with a few bats that would really help the cause here, but there are a lot of road bats struggling. So is there a solution to level it out a little bit, or do we just let this park ride as this massive, massive extreme pitchers park? Kratz, would you like to spend a few $1,000,000 of John Stanton, the owner's money, to bring in the fences?
Normally, I'd say yes. Normally, I'm trying to spend other people's money. No. Why not make the adjustment? It's not about why bring the fences in so they hit a few more homers. Like, is Colorado that much better because it's the fences are short based on how the ball travels? Like, oh, it's so many homers. No, it's because of the size out there. It's because of the amount of space that outfielders have to cover. You can't, like a stadium, unless there is truly something wrong with the batter's eye, a stadium does not cause strikeouts. Now, can the thin air in Colorado make sliders not slide as much or sinkers not sink as much? Absolutely, they can. But in Seattle, I have a hard time believing that moving the fences in is going to create this like awesome hitters park. Like, the team didn't hit the ball very often. They struck out at record paces the last 3 seasons. I know the last 2 seasons for sure. Since we've been on FT, them boys have been striking out. So to me, you can play on the moon or you can play on a Little League park. If you don't make contact, it ain't the stadium.
Then what's the solution? You're just going to say hit better to all the hitters?
Move the fences in?
I don't think they did. Where did they move them in? Right field? Because the bullpen's always been where it's at. It's that it's flush right up against the fence there, and it's basically fans, bullpen, fence. It's kind of a unique. I love the uniqueness. I don't like the 400 to center, 370 to the gap, 330, like the Japanese stadiums. I don't like the uniform. I like the higher fence someplace. To me, what's the answer? Yeah, you got to figure it out. We're going to talk about it with the Phillies later. Like, they can't hit in the playoffs. You got to figure it out. You got to learn to make adjustments in different places. And you say, oh, well, everybody strikes out. Like in the article, it talks about how the opposing team strikes out there. Well, take a look at that pitching staff. The pitching staff, you ask anybody, any team, they do not want to go in and face them. They do not want to go into that park and face that rotation with that bullpen. The word that one guy used, a really good player that's been on here, was suffocating. The pitching staff is suffocating. So it's going to bring strikeouts up for the opposing team. And the Mariners do their best to make sure the strikeouts are up for their team.
Maybe we'll have Mike on at some point to talk about this, because he went over a number of different factors. Yes, he brought up the whole batter's eye and actually the history of it. And now there's been, kind of decades of history of certain players complaining, definitely not Pierzynski. But he also talked about how it's one of the colder average temperatures. So that's going to hurt your home run factor a little bit. Okay. The strikeout part is still crazy, though. The amount of strikeouts that are produced there versus, on the road for the Mariners. And even the same thing with their starting pitchers. What?
To me, I would start looking at the lights, not the fence. Like, the fence just solves one thing. Like, it's going to make batting averages go down and home runs go up. Are the lights bad? Is there something? Is the angle of the lights? I'm just hypothesizing things. Like, if it truly is caused, they can take everything out of it. Good pitchers, bad pitchers, good hitters, bad hitters, and it's causing more strikeouts. Then there has to be something. And to me, it would be more visual. Batter's eye, lights, where the sun sets, how it's coming in across, through the open roof or the partially open roof. Who knows? Anything like that.
So apparently they did do a little bit of tweaking with the fences at some point. I can't click the article to figure it all out, but what if they just keep doing that until something changes?
How about build your team around what your ballpark is?
Contact?
Like they did 2001. 2001, they didn't have a problem when they won 116 games and went like 80-1 in Safeco Field. And Brett Boone was hitting homers. Mike Cameron was hitting homers. Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, John Olerud. That whole team, they didn't have a problem. I don't know what's changed. The ball's actually probably gotten more juice than it was back then, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's I don't know. I just don't like the ballpark excuse. Figure it out. You got to figure it out somehow. If you're the Mariners, you got to find a way to figure it out. I know it sucks, but figure it out. Kansas City's gigantic. Kansas City's gigantic, and they figured it out. They won a World Series. They figured it out. They were like, we need dudes that can catch the ball. We need dudes that put the ball in play and can run. Okay, boom. What happens? You get a couple guys that can hit some homers every once in a while, and the rest of the dudes are contact, speed, play defense, cover the whole outfield because it's gigantic. And they figured it out. Now they're starting to figure it out again because they kind of went back to that route a little bit. Yeah, you got to have a couple homer guys, but the rest just put in play, put pressure, and make other teams adjust to you.
The Mariners claimed to do that last year, remember? That was their big push. Their whole campaign last offseason was, we need to get more contact in our lineup. And they got a few players that were better in their career contact-wise, and then their strikeout rate skyrocketed.
I mean, Jorge Polanco didn't strike out. He went there and went, woo, through the roof. I don't know.
He struck out the most in his career ever with the least amount of at-bats that he's had.
Yeah. So maybe it's not the park. Maybe it's the approach. That's why they brought Kevin Seitzer, because he hates homers. So he's the perfect hitting coach in Seattle. He hates home runs.
He likes them. He understands that the approach ain't it. And I think it's too much like saying, oh, we're going to move the fences in. It feels like, helicopter parenting. Like, oh, well, guys can't hit through the shift. We're going to get rid of the shift. Like, some guys make the adjustment. Some guys can make the adjustment in Seattle. But you have, as an organization, you have to make the decision of who's good at making the adjustment or who should. I don't want Cal Raleigh pushing balls to the left side when he's hitting left-handed, unless there's dudes on third base. I want Cal Raleigh hitting his dingers. Like, Cal Raleigh has no problem hitting dingers there from both sides of the plate. He's like, oh, left-handed? I'll do it right-handed too. So he's an elite guy that can do that. Victor Robles, go get your singles. Go get your singles. Run around in the outfield. Catch some pelotas.
Yeah, that's why they signed him up. They felt like he was a fit, and so they're going to try to presumably bring in more people like that.
What did Barry Bonds say? We ran the Barry Bonds interview. What did he say when he was joking around with me? What did he say? What was my job?
Practice.
No, what was my job? And other guys' jobs to get on base so he could drive them in. He's like, my job wasn't my job. I did my job to get on base. You were supposed to drive me in if I was in front of you. The guys in front of me were supposed to get on base for me so I could drive them in, right? So you got to know what your job is. Ain't every guy in the world a 40 home run hitter. We try to make every guy right now sometimes into 40 home run hitters, and that's why every guy strikes out 200 times. You get a 5'8", 150-pound flea trying to hit 30 homers. They hit 8, and they hit 197, but they're like, hey, you hit those 8, right? So, I mean, maybe it's an approach thing, and maybe certain people need not to try to hit home runs on every swing. There needs to be different types of players. Luis Ariz comes to mind, right? His job, what's his job? Hit singles, get on base, and be a pest. And he's a hell of a pest because he hits 300, wins batting titles, and gets on base.
He's on the trade block. Go get him. Go get him, Seattle. Too expensive. Making Anyway, gotta go. Play us out. Let's get to Phillies storylines next up on FT. And we are going to talk to Tim Anderson soon on the show for the first time. All right, we're going to do a shout out for a donation. I mean, we see, donations to many causes all the time in our sport, but this one stands out because of how much it was. $100 million from the Mark Walter Family Foundation and the Dodgers Foundation to help with the wildfire relief efforts in California. $100 million.
Whew.
That's big boy money right there. Now, it's all relative. Mark Walter is a billionaire. But shout out. Just wanted to send some love.
100 million is a lot of money.
It is
100 million to donate somewhere. Don't care. Don't care how much you had, made, are worth, all that stuff. 100 million is big boy bucks. Just like Shohei's 500,000 is big boy bucks.
Yep. That's your community. They support your efforts there. He's throwing it back their way. So really cool. Just wanted to point that story out. All right. So next up, we're going to go over Phillies storylines. No guest for this one because Kratz, is on the scene in Pennsylvania to help us out. So that's how we'll accomplish what we need to accomplish. A couple other quick questions here while we have a minute. Our guy Frankie actually asked, can someone take Stroman's contract? Well, no, but someone can take a portion of Stroman's contract if they're able to figure that out, right? They're going to set what the market is for a pitcher like him, and then the team's going to say we would take him for that price if they're interested in him, right? Like they'll come up with the number. They'll say, hey, that he's worth, 10, 12 to me. The part that makes it trickier is starters like him are going on the market, I think, for like 15 to 20 mil for one season. He's got 2 seasons, and front offices freak out. I know it sounds like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal.
Shouldn't be. Any of those big parks we just talked about? Anybody need somebody to put the ball on the ground? Veteran pitcher? Yeah. I think he's cheap. Maybe he'll be an ATH'er.
I like that fit. I like that fit a lot, actually. All right, FT fan, be right back to talk Phillies. We're gearing up for the 2025 season, going team by team. Now we've got the Phillies for you. So 4 storylines. We'll crack them right now. October offense. Hello. Phillies bats disappeared in back-to-back postseasons, including a super high chase rate in last year's NLDS. Andrew Painter's debut could be coming soon, maybe mid-season, July-ish. Alec Boehm is back in Philadelphia after many thought he would be traded. How's that going to look? And then the outfield upgrade. What is it enough to just go after Max Kepler? Did they need to switch things up a little bit more? So let's start, Kratz, with the storyline that stands out to me the most, because the Phillies clearly have been a really good regular season team, and they've done some pretty good things in the playoffs the last several years, but they can't get this club to go the distance. And when you look at the team on paper, I feel like it's the kind of team that 10 plus years from now, we're going to look at and be like, how the hell did that roster of players not win a World Series? So how can they figure this out come playoff time? Because we know they're going to make the playoffs.
I don't think it's as big of an issue as we make it out to be. We had Max Muncy on talking about, I think earlier this year, talking about how they needed to make changes going into the postseason. The reality is we were talking about Max Muncy's team kind of blowing it and not scoring runs for 2 or 3 games. It's still a short series that they just lost this year. But going back to the last 2 games, the previous season in the NLCS, when they couldn't finish the Diamondbacks off, they had issues. And the biggest thing for me is the chase rate. And that chase rate was at 31.8% or something that it said. And that's really high. But it's also a product of a really small sample size. So do you believe that they just choke or they don't show up, or do they just batter worse pitching during the season, and then when they face somebody good, they don't hit them well? And in the postseason, you're only facing the best pitchers. To me, I think it was a combination of both. I think something that they understand they need to make the adjustment to, but I also think what if a few of the games, the shadows were bad? Now all of a sudden you're taking 1 or 2 games and it's tough for either team to hit. They came out on the wrong end of it. They faced a hot Mets team. To me, I don't think there's as much to change. And maybe I'm a Phillies apologist for saying that, but I don't think it's as much as is made out that it is.
They got beat. They got beat. What else is there to say? They got beat.
Yeah, no, we want to know why. You were there.
They had a 3-1. They had a 3-1 lead against the Diamondbacks. Lost, right? The Diamondbacks made a script flip when they started throwing them a lot of breaking balls. The Mets last year were just hot, and they just lost. Now, you can blame the layoff from them. You can blame whatever you want to blame for the Phillies' reason, but they didn't hit enough, obviously, and their pitching, other than Wheeler, wasn't great. Nola wasn't great. Now, they played a division foe, so maybe they knew him, but their bullpen, they were counting on Hoffman and some of these other guys to come in and be who were really good for him in the regular season. Didn't get it done. Kerkering, Hoffman, all these guys didn't get it done. Estevez gave up the grand slam, right? The big grand slam to Lindor. He didn't get it done. So was it just familiarity because they played the Mets? I don't know. But the Mets were on fire when they played them after having beat the Brewers the way they beat them. They just rode that wave into Philadelphia. Wheeler went out and shoved game 1. You're like, oh, this could be a short series. Then the next 3 games, the Mets just outplayed them. Defensively, they played unbelievable. Nothing the Phillies could do there. But, Schwarber didn't hit. Other than really Harper and Castellanos, the rest of the lineup did not hit at all. So they got to figure out a way to hit. Why? I don't know. But they just didn't hit. It was those 2 guys, and the rest of the lineup was not good.
So if they can't hit, let's get to the second storyline. Maybe they can amp up the run prevention even more with an even more dangerous starting rotation. And I think it's got the potential to do that. They acquired Jesus Luzardo, but also, in my mind, the top pitching prospect in the sport is Andrew Painter. It's him or Jackson Jobe. Jobe's obviously going to spend some time in the bigs with the Tigers too. They're both awesome. They're pretty different looking pitchers. But Painter is this tall glass of water with all kinds of command and control already. Good to, good with the glove too already. I've watched him make some nice defensive plays, on comebackers. What? I'm just saying, I think
it's that's 2 days. That's 2 days in a row.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
AJ, his face got me. Scott's talked about a really good defensive pitcher. Who cares? I think he said about Martin Perez. Who cares? That's not solidifying your defense.
Mark Burley.
So what? Mark Burley was really good because he threw 200 innings and he threw strikes for 14 seasons. Could he field his position? Absolutely. He was great. A good field. AJ, tell me if I'm wrong, but a good fielding pitcher means this much to me.
Yeah, nothing. Means nothing.
Okay, hold on.
It mattered more when there was bunting. Nobody bunts anymore, so what does it matter? Teams imagine John Lester was an awful fielding pitcher, but he was still pretty good, wasn't he?
Teams run. He holds runners well with his pickoff move. And then you guys didn't let me finish.
How do you know Andrew Painter holds runners well? We've never seen him pitch in a big league game.
Oh, sorry that I watched some minor league video and read scouting reports on baseballamerica.com. Upper 90s, 2 good breakers, developing a changeup that probably will work out for him because everything else he's developed has looked good. Sorry for laying out the scouting report. I will go back to my lair and just say, Andrew Painter, good at ball. Kratz, go. When will we see him?
Andrew Painter is good, but Andrew Painter also already had 1 Tommy John.
So what? Right? So, I don't care about him in 2089. I care about him in 2025.
Yeah. That doesn't matter for this year. We're talking about the 2025 season. To me, all that Scott was saying from Baseball America was something that I could see. I watched 7 innings of him pitching. It was all Arizona Fall League innings. He is a very athletic, very polished pitcher, unlike a lot of guys that are getting called up now, guys who are just grunt and snort and throw the ball as hard as they can. He has the body that you would look at if you're a scout that you're like, whoa, that is a repeatable delivery with such a tall, long body. He has a frame that he can grow into. Again, it doesn't really matter much for 2025. But if he can continue his command that he has had in the minor leagues, he's going to be able to step into this rotation that's already legit, but is going to need some help. I mean, Jesus Luzardo didn't throw a lot of innings. You can't expect 200 innings from him like you're going to get from Wheeler and Nola and Ranger and Christopher Sanchez, like guys that'll throw over 160 innings. So you'll need him. And you know what? If he throws strikes, maybe you can slide him to the bullpen by September and October.
And there you go. The goal of winning 1-0 games in October could become a reality for the Phillies. We have 2 more storylines to hit. We will hit those later on in FT. Coming up next, Tim Anderson, new angel, joining us. All right, here we go. A couple other baby signings that we will get to right now. You see Wade Miley signed?
Back to the Reds.
Yep, back to the Reds. Minor league deal, was it? It's the one I didn't catch okay. Minor league deal, but he could make himself a few $1 million. Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, but he's hurt. So.
And then one more that actually was notable because we talked about this the other day. So Elias Diaz, who's had some good times with the Rockies, signs with the Padres for 1 year, $3.5 million. And that wipes out the chances of the Christian Vazquez trade between the Padres and the Twins.
And it wipes out the fact that the Padres now have a big league signing.
That's right. That's their first signing of the offseason. First MLB signing of the offseason. First big league contract. And they needed a second catcher. Your boy Higashioka had the season of his life. And
they had Maldonado, though, didn't they? Didn't they sign Martin Maldonado?
Maldonado's on a minor league contract to help Campusano in spring training. Am I accurate on that one? Okay. Because Campusano can hit.
He's got a lot going on in the big leagues. It hasn't translated, and on a consistent basis. If you watch his swing, he's moving around a lot. He'll probably come into spring. He comes into spring with different, something new every year. So maybe quiet him down, see what he can do. But I think they needed more than just a regular backup.
You know who else always would switch it up each season? Higgy. Didn't he tell us that on the show? He was I completely switch it each year. And I just found it. This was the year. I hit the lottery.
But it looks the same. Don't tell him I said that, but it looks the same. In his mind, it's like I'm completely, my hands are lower. I'm separating longer. I'm like, Higgy, it looks the same. You're going to hit poolside dingers. That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, whatever works. All right. We're back in 60 seconds to talk to Tim Anderson. We'll take some fan questions too. Here we go for the first time on Foul Territory. Tim Anderson joins us right now. Probably a few weeks now it's been since signing with the Angels. Tim, how's the offseason going, man? And congrats on signing up with the Halos and Ron Washington. How you been?
I've been good. I appreciate it. I've been good, though. Overall just training. Just been working out, for real.
Good to see you. So,
yeah, hold up. It's about damn time, all right? I chased your ass for a year. Over a year. Damn, it's been like 2 years I've been chasing your ass. You finally gave up. It took Scott.
Yeah, I know. The first time.
Me coming up to you in the clubhouse trying to get you to come, and it took Scott calling your agent. Why you just say that?
The first time you presented to me, you wanted me to come over here weekly, right?
Well, no, like once every month.
No, once a month. Once a month.
You're a good guy, man. We like hearing from you. People wanted to hear from you.
That's still a lot of talking for me. So I kind of, I kind of turned away from it. But I did, but you did do a good job in that clip, and that got me on here today. So I appreciate it.
What clip?
I'm happy.
The clip where he told you good luck reaching me.
Yep. See?
There you go.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
People were like, man, when can we get TA on? We want TA7 on. Where's TA at? And I'm like, I tried. I don't know. But I'm happy you're here today.
We
got a lot of stuff.
wasn't.
We got a lot of stuff we're going to dig into with you. And I hope you get some laughs with us. And I hope we have fun. And
let's do it.
I hope you want to come back at some point when you make the Angels and you're kicking ass in Anaheim.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I appreciate you.
All right, so I got one to start. So take me through the process just now, this offseason. How did you end up with the Angels? Who did you talk to? Because I'm sure you had other offers too. And, you know, the Ron Washington connection is there. We've had Ross on this show multiple times. And, I mean, he's maybe, if not the most respected coach in the game, he's top 5.
I mean, that right there, you know, just being connected with Ron and, you know, just being able to have that glove. You know, having a chance to work with him and, you know, being able to improve my glove. But, you know, the focus has really been, you know, trying to find the bat back. And, you know, that's what I've been working on. But, I mean, I got no leverage. You know, I had no leverage, and I'm aware of that. So I did feel like the Angel was the best fit for me to, you know, for me to be able to, you know, try to get back on track and, you know, try to find myself again.
TA, did you know Wash before? Did you know Wash before you signed with the Angels? Because I played for Wash. He's awesome. You're going to love him. EY is awesome. Bo Porter's awesome. I mean, Wash is awesome. So how much did you know of Wash before you signed over in Anaheim?
I didn't really know a whole lot. I mean, we had a conversation I was supposed to have been good with him, you know, the last like 2 or 3 off seasons, but it didn't work out. You know, and it was a chance that I was going to sign there last year, but it didn't work out as well. So I'm kind of excited, you know, for it to, you know, come full circle. And, you know, I haven't heard anything but good stories about Ron. And, you know, the conversations that we've been having has been nothing but good. So, you know, the energy is good. The vibes is good. I'm just excited, you know, to get back in baseball for sure.
Great. Listen, wait till he has a team meeting. That's all I'm going to say. Wait till he has a team meeting because he had some of the greatest team meetings that I ever was a part of. I can't say a lot of what he says on here because there was a lot of words we're not allowed to use on television, but he gets going and he is unbelievably funny. You try not to laugh because he's kind of yelling at you, but he's also getting you excited. And I just remember Ian Kinsler and I had lockers across from each other and he would get going. We just look at each other and we're like, please don't laugh.
I can relate. I can relate
please,
for sure. I can relate.
Please don't laugh. All right, but then you mentioned the bat. What happened with the bat? Because you used to rake. I mean, you were one of the best hitters in baseball. What changed? Did something change? Did you change a mechanic? Did you change a mental? Did you change something in your approach? Because you were unbelievable for about 4 years there.
I mean, just losing the feel. You know, I went through a couple injuries. I think the last injury that I went was, you know, when I did the MCL. You know, once I came back, the feel was just different. I lost the feel. I had a hand injury, and not to really, you know, give you, you know, examples about the injury, but I just lost the feel. And then we can speak on the mental side, you know, as well. I mean, not to really get, you know, too deep into my business, but I mean, I think we understand what was going on. So, you know, it's kind of hard to play when you're in those situations, and you know, I have, you know, other personal, you know, things going on as well. So, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, be able to see clear when you got so much going on. So, you know, I kind of appreciate the moment that I have now, you know, stepping away from the game once I did get released. You know, now, you know, I'm back to square one. You know, I'm hungry, and I'm excited. You know, honestly, I'm just excited for real.
How will you know you're back? How will you know? We talk about like, oh man, I've been struggling. I wasn't feeling this. You know, the mental game, other things. How will you know? How will TA know? I'm back now.
I mean, I can get on here and talk about this shit all day about telling you what I done did, changes I done made, you know, how hungry I am, you know. I mean, all we have to do is just really, you know, I think over time, it would, you know, it would tell, you know, not just saying like I'm finna go do the craziest shit ever, but, you know, over time, I think that would, you know, tell if I'm back or not. But, you know, for the most part, I've been feeling good. You know, I've been feeling, you know, excited. You know, I have been working. I've been obsessed with working. I think that, you know, that's always been a nag on me. I'm always obsessed with working, so I've been working. But yeah, man, just, you know, I'm excited to get back in there for sure.
Tim, by the way, we're on the Angels Network, so let's try to be careful with using the Ron Washington words because we'll get in trouble. We'll get in trouble with the Ron Washington words, so let's try to watch those. But I have a serious question, and you can answer this any way you want to answer it. You and I are in a particular club together. Do you know what club that is?
No, what club is that?
We both got frickin' punched in the face on national TV. Okay.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. So we've both been through it. All right. And I've
Sure.
always wanted, I've never heard you talk about it, and you don't have to talk about it. I've talked about when it happened with me openly, right? I've
For sure.
signed a million pictures of me getting punched, and people still bring it to me all the time, and I laugh about it, whatever. But did that have anything to do with anything that happened? Because, you can go one of two ways. It can take you down a bad psyche, or it can take you to a good psyche. Like me,
Right.
I laughed about it and moved on. I don't know, because I've never really heard you talk about it. Like, did it
Right.
affect you in any way?
It's not really.
And all
It's
that
not really
happened?
a whole. I wouldn't even say it's really a whole lot to talk about it. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't go as far as signing pictures,
I understand.
but I was going through shit before that moment. That was probably created, the energy and the vibes to be able to tap into that energy. But man, moments happen. Moments happen, and that's something that we got to live with. And I understand that. But I'm always looking forward. I can't really change what happened.
Okay.
But I understood a lot of things in that moment throughout that situation, and I understand what love was. I understood, who really is your teammate, who really got your back, who really in your corner. So I could say I understand those in that moment for sure.
Okay, I get it. Listen, I just know that, like, I mean, I've watched it. We had Tristan McKenzie on the other day, and he was talking about the same thing, because he was out there trying to break guys up, right? So I
Yeah, for
understand
sure.
it, and I'm not trying to get on you. I just have never heard your side of it, and
No,
I
but
just wanted to.
I always know your energy towards me. So so that's why I made it open floor, because I kind of knew out of all people that you would be the guy that bring it back up.
Well, no,
So I
listen, I
kind of made it
love you.
open
Listen,
floor.
I'll tell you this. Listen, in 2021, one of my all-time favorite moments, I was at Field of Dreams, and I got to watch that. Well, I didn't get to watch it, but I was there for the home run you hit, which is honestly
Right.
one of my all-time favorite baseball moments that I've ever seen. So then from you to go, not only you, but that whole team. I mean, that whole 2021 team is like, what the heck happened to that team? I mean, Abreu, right? Moncada, Eloy, you. It's like, damn, what happened to the aura
I
of that
can't
White Sox team? That I was like,
I
damn, this
can't
team's gonna be
answer.
good for like 10 years.
I can't answer for other guys. I only can answer for the work that I put in, the energy that I put into those moments. I can't really call for that. I know what I did bring to the table, and shit. You talk about a guy. I put my life on the line for for this organization, for this team to be able to try to win. Try to accomplish what the plan was. But we fell short, and I understood that. But I'm okay, totally okay with however it got to play, because it's always about reinventing yourself in different seasons, and we're in a different season right now, and I'm just blessed, and I'm thankful for this opportunity to have this shot to be able to show you guys the better me, the newer me, and what I've been working on.
What's your favorite big league moment? Because I mean, if for people who don't know, people who just joined the game, TA hasn't been doing it for a couple years. You did some things like
Yeah.
we're talking batting titles, we're talking All-Star, we're talking that walk-off that at the Field of Dreams game. What's your favorite big league moment, and do you think there's a bigger one coming up?
um I would say the Field of Dreams, but for me, probably making it to the big leagues, because it wasn't even supposed to work out like this. So all the way up to any point up into the big leagues, I already won, because this never was in my plan. So for me to be able to do the things that I did, and for you to be able to talk about the accomplishments that I did do, there, man, that's such a blessing. And I'm doing something that I did something that people don't do. So I'm very thankful for those moments. But just making it to the big leagues, bro, and just being able to have the opportunity, I'm very thankful for that, for sure.
By the way, Tia, you were a first round pick. I mean, I'm just saying, someone thought you had some talent somewhere
Yeah,
along the
but
way.
but go
I
look,
mean, you were always pretty good.
go ask about the years before that, before I got on the radar to be a first round pick. Like, nobody knew me.
Okay.
Baseball
We
wasn't
all
really
know.
my interest. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. You and Salvador Perez had a moment, and
Yeah.
it was like the most fun. You were like the face of fun in baseball. Has that changed for you? I mean, you were like bat flipping. It was awesome. Like, I mean,
No,
listen, if I would have played with you,
why?
you and I,
I know. Listen,
listen,
man. Why you can't talk about something positive? Why you got
can I
always why you
can I
bringing up the
finish?
moments that I done got into it with somebody?
Can
Let's
I
talk about
finish?
something positive. Yeah, you can.
I
Go
am.
ahead.
Can I finish? If you and I would have been teammates, we would have had a hell of a time, because we would have had a lot of fun, because I was a bat flipping dude just like you. I just want to know, Are you going to continue to play with the same passion and fun that you have always played with when you get back to the big leagues? Because I miss seeing you do that on television. I miss seeing the TA that was
We'll
having
see.
fun, bat flip.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how how I feel, how the energy feels. What's the vibes giving? Is it going well? Am I going good? Shit, am I going to make the team? You know what I mean? So it's just we'll see. We'll see.
What do you think it looks like to make the team? Because that was my career.
Yep.
AJ's second, third round, like he played 19 years. There wasn't a spring training. I wasn't trying to make a team. What do you think that looks like to try to make a team? You playing in the first game? Dudes don't even
Man,
make
I
road
mean,
trips that do what
I
you've
ain't
done.
got nothing. I got nothing to lose. So what you mean? I
So
got
that's
nothing
what
to
I mean.
lose.
But like, what does that look like? I mean, are you like when you come into camp? How does that look different than a normal year when you come into camp?
Um, I mean, the last two camps has been kind of weird. I mean, last year obviously I did sign. I had a spot. This year, I mean, I can't really tell you because I haven't been in the situation. So I mean, the only thing on my mind is just go win a job. So I mean, that's if we keeping it that short and simple, then yeah, man, I'm just trying to go out and win a job and be able to make the roster, and be able to hopefully get back on track.
Do you know guys on the Angels?
Yeah, I know a few guys, but I haven't talked to any guys. But I
Okay.
do know some guys.
What do you know about them? Obviously, we know the face, right? You know the face,
Yeah,
though. You get
yeah,
to
for
go
sure, for
hang
sure,
with Trout, who obviously he's been through his own things, but last year in
yeah, for sure.
April, he was like top 3 player in the sport as usual.
I mean, just from the outside looking in, just from talking to people, I mean, the vibes, the energy. I'm looking to be in a space where I can just really be low key, man. I ain't really trying to, I don't need too much attention. I just really want to just play my game and just let the game talk for itself. Even coming over on here is really a reach. But I mean, like you said, AJ said, like I've been asking me, and obviously, I mean, I feel like it was a good opportunity for me to come on here. But I just really just want to, just go play and really see what happened. I want to learn from guys. I want to be, coachable. Look, I got nothing. I got nothing, bro. I'm just coming in. I want to play. I just want to play and just see what happens. I'm hungry. And I think we all know if that staff can get me back to where I need to be, and obviously a lot goes, within myself, obviously to put the work in and to do what I got to do. But if I can get back to where I need to be, then we obviously know that would be a good spot, and I think that'd be a exciting player to see for sure.
When you got your time off from the game, when you were gone, when you got released, is there a guy that if a game was on TV that you would stop and be like, I got to see what he's doing? Like, is there a dude in the game that you're like, this is like, I want to see his at bat. I want to see him pitch something.
No, that's not even nothing against nobody. Like that's not even nothing against no players. Not that I wouldn't, but like I totally checked out. Like I wasn't watching no sports. Like I still haven't really watched sports. I've been spending time with my family, spending time with my kids. Been working on the mental. The last thing that I really, wanted to watch was baseball.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. When you talk to the Angels, what'd they say your best shot position wise was to come in and make the team? Was it shortstop, your natural position? Was it like a utility guy? Was it second base? Because Scott Braun's been clamoring for you to go to the Angels to play second base for a while now, or shortstop.
Hell
So
yeah.
he is
Or
the
who they
happiest
have.
all get out that you're with the Angels
No,
finally.
wherever open in that, if that happened to be second, then I'm open to that. I'm just open, man. I'm open. I'm not here to, call no shots to say this or, be no type of way. Like I'm just open. I'm open to, wherever I can best fit and slide in slot and perform my best, and I'm open for that for sure.
Okay, good. Because you played in the WBC for Team USA. Mark DeRosa and all those guys
Yeah,
raved about you. And you played second base. You did a hell of a job. I mean, I think you
yeah,
wouldn't look horrible playing a bunch of positions for the Angels. As long as you hit the way Tim Anderson can hit, you're going to look good in that
yeah, for
red and the
sure.
halo on your head.
Yeah, for sure. If I definitely get the bat back, then I'm pretty sure that we could find a position for sure.
Hey, TA, I remember, we've had Trout on a few times, and
Uh huh.
sometimes he'll sit there, and this is, one of the best players of our generation, and he's done this twice on our show. He'll go, man, he goes, pitching now versus 10 years ago when I entered the league. ridiculous.
Yeah.
You feel the same
man.
way, like when you entered the league versus now? Like it is just insanely different.
Yeah, for sure, man. I lost the wave of it, man. Everything got so different. Guys was pitching down, then guys start pitching up, then guys start, having rides. So that played a lot into just, the way you train. And yeah, it definitely changed for sure.
Do you use any of the tech? So some of the hitters we talk to say, they'll use like the traject or virtual reality or any of that stuff.
That's why I
much?
got that. That's why I messed up at, man. I started trying to learn too much about the game and trying to learn how to do launch angle, trying to learn how to hinge, and trying to learn how to, and it took away from being so simple and took away my athleticism. So to the point where, man, I just want to just get back to just playing. I want to keep it simple. I had to go back and relearn the basic. And a lot of things felt like when I was going good. So I just been really just been thirsty and hungry and obsessed with chasing that field and not really worrying about all the rest of that stuff. Just keeping it simple because I didn't know about that stuff when I had those good years. So when I started learning about it, man, it threw me off.
TA, that is gold because we argue about this all the time with people who come on here.
Yeah.
Like,
I need to be dumb. Yeah, I need to be dumb. I need to be dumb.
See that's not like you know as well as anybody. Like you can say that with a smile, but you still got to be a stud to win a batting championship in the big leagues. So how long does that take to unlearn? Because people are always in your ear. They're just like, hey, you were almost there. You were almost there. What about this? Hey, I was looking at your launch angle in BP.
Yeah, you think about even like through my years with the White Sox, like, my language changed over the course of years because I was, we had different hitting coach, we had different manager. So a lot of those things changed. And so I got thirsty and going to, trying to find, a way to do more, which reality I didn't need to do more. I could have just stayed where I was in the midst of having injuries. And so I just really lost the feel. I lost the feel. I lost the basic on how to hit. You see my launch angle, the last year, like I lost it. Completely lost it, so I really didn't know exactly what. So stepping away once I got released, I didn't want to play. I didn't want to sign again because I would have probably messed up this opportunity, and so I just really wanted to go back and relearn the basics. So I kind of lost the feel for everything, honestly.
Tim, listen, you know how I know you were good and you're still going to be good? Because you know what number you first wore when you came over to the White Sox?
12.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that's how I know you were a good player when you came up, all right? Because I wasn't giving that junk out to just anybody,
bro.
all right? I wasn't just giving it out to anybody, okay?
Man, you
had to
crazy.
earn that thing. You had to earn that thing to wear that one, too.
I kind of like you now, man. Since we had the interview, I kind of like you because we could talk more.
Yeah.
At first, I felt a little way about you. I felt the energy, but you're kind of cool though, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'll say this. This is my last one too, just to ask you a question, like off-season chatter. This show's had almost 600 player guest appearances, and I feel like sometimes the player voice wasn't, getting enough love. So my last question to you is: do you feel like the league, and I'm not saying the league office, I'm saying like MLB as a sport, and the players need to do anything to kind of keep themselves more in the mix with the young fan, right? Because I mean, we all see it. The NFL is king. The NBA has so many different players that like go on podcasts and shows and just are, when there's drama in baseball, we always joke. We're like, you know what they say in the NBA? They call that Tuesday because they have that stuff every few days. And I feel like it draws up fan interest. So, as you're getting older and wiser, what do you see with the way that the sport is being portrayed? Like, are we looked at as not cool enough?
Yeah. It's not cool. I mean, it looked at not cool. But I don't know. I don't know what the game could do. Honestly, I mean, it's been going on for years. We talked about this from the time I came into the league to the time now. And if we still asking this question, then what can be done?
It's true.
Obviously nothing. We haven't. We're still asking the same question. So therefore, I don't know. I don't know. So I can't answer that question.
No, that's fair. I mean, our answer was to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
we're not rich off this. We're doing this because we want to bring all the players off on the show and, get like more from them. Right. And do it in a neutral way and be covering the sport every day. So wanted to get your take, but yeah, I'm with you.
No, it's
It's
good
been
vibes.
talked about for
For
a
sure.
long time.
Yeah, for sure. No, the show's good. It's good vibes. I like the energy on it for sure.
I appreciate it. Well, good to see you, TA. Okay. We're going to be out in Arizona, so we'll try and catch you then. That means he's getting a phone call, by the way, usually when it goes to back. There you go. You're back. But TA, great to see you. All right. We appreciate you.
Man, I
Thanks for coming
appreciate
on.
I appreciate you guys.
Just so everyone knows, because that happens sometimes. And I've gotten that question a couple times. They're like, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes the screen will go. And I'm like, when you get a phone call, because I've done it even on our own show on like iPad or whatever, that's what it'll do. And then you got to press reject and then it comes back. But anyway, that was fun. That was cool. See, I was looking forward to getting TA on for a while. Like he mentioned at one point, we were like, yo, you should come on, once a month. But I feel like the guys have to sit in the seat, spend 15 minutes with us and see what's up. But I enjoyed it.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there were some uncomfortable moments there, but you got to ask the questions because no one's ever heard of them. No one's ever heard some of that stuff before. And someone that's been through the same exact thing he's been through. I don't know. I love TA. I think he's great, and I wish him nothing but the best. Seriously. I hope he does great in Anaheim, Los Angeles, whatever the hell they're calling it now.
I hope he's MVP. I mean, trust me, I told Kratz when he signed that contract, here was the thing that bothered me back when the whole, quote, controversy happened with FT, right? So just to give everyone a quick backstory, Cody Decker is a baseball personality. He used to play mostly in the minors. I don't remember. He maybe had a cup of coffee, actually. Yeah, in the bigs. Really good dude. And does all sports. He's got a show with Michelle Beadle. He comes on the show and he was like, I feel like Tim Anderson would be a good fit there. And I think he might have said at shortstop, whatever. And okay, like Zach Neto's there. He was playing well. I think he was a rookie at the time, or if not, like very few at bats in the big leagues. And people lost their mind. And I like kind of came to his rescue and said, hey, TA would be a good fit here. He can play second base. And fans were like, we don't need him, blah, blah, blah. TA has struggled since. It just would be full circle if he comes to the Angels. That's the spot where he clicks. And like he mentioned, AJ, he's been trying to link up with the Angels. They've been close, but it didn't happen.
There is no better fit for him than Ron Washington in that 100%. Place. Ron Washington will get his mind right. Ron Washington will get his glove right, and Ron Washington will get his bat right. Now, whether TA takes off, which I hope he does, and we all hope he does, I don't know. But listen, Ron Washington will be the perfect fit because he'll have him motivated, he'll have him inspired, and he'll have him ready to play every single day. And that's what Ron Washington is great at, man. He is a great motivator, and he's a great manager because he knows how to lead men.
Facts. All right, we'll be right back. We're going to announce another show so we can have more shows than teams that Kratz has been on.
Hitting close. Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
I say, new show, who dis? And I like your shirt because it kind of plays to it, Kratz. That was very, very nicely played. Very, very nicely played. That's a Tony Gwynn baseballism shirt. Those things sold out forever. I think they're back available now. But anyway.
I think they just got back. Yeah.
They're back. Okay, cool. Friar Territory is the show. Kyle Glazer is one of the best voices in baseball. He's been on our show plenty. He knows prospects. He knows baseball. MLB, and he knows the Padres. He's covered them as a beat writer in the past. He's out in the scene there in San Diego. He lives out there, and he brought on two co-hosts that not only know the team, but played for the team and were a big deal there. Mike Cameron and Heath Bell was a big deal closer for the San Diego Padres. So subscribe to Friar Territory wherever you get your pods. And we have a little quote from their first episode, which covered the ownership battle going on right now in San Diego that is frankly holding them back from transactions.
And I think the concern now is once again, 15 years later or so, you have another lawsuit involving ownership. And I think because so many in San Diego have lived through this before, they're concerned. I mean, the last time there was a legal issue involving ownership, it set the franchise back a decade and completely stalled their upward progress.
The players are going to pretty much be predominantly focused on getting ready for the baseball season. I'm sure they'll hear a lot more once going into spring training. They may even have a meeting about it. And, the guys that live in San Diego year round, I'm sure they know about it, but majority of everyone is getting ready to go out to Arizona, to Peoria to get ready to play in the season. And they'll hear a lot of different things from the media starting once the spring training starts. But, I don't think the players really focus in on that, as far as like what is the fight is all about, the lawsuit, those different things. I just think that players normally get ready to play for the season, and they allow those other things to handle themselves.
Good stuff from Mike, and then Heath Bell will be on the next episode. So AJ, I'll just add to this and then get your thoughts on the current situation, because we did get news kind of during the show yesterday that was a response from Matt Seidler, who, is on the other side of the battle with Shield, who is the widow of Peter Seidler, the late owner of the Padres. So Matt filed a legal answer to Shield's lawsuit, and the filing does not mention Roki Sasaki by name, this tweet from Dennis Lin, but it describes the suit as recklessly suggesting that relocation was being considered while the Padres pursued him. They didn't say his name. I have the quote in the reply. It says, during a crucial time when Padres management was in late negotiation stages with a star pitcher, Shield's lawsuit recklessly suggested that Matt and his brothers were plotting to relocate the Padres elsewhere.
What? Relocate where? Where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? The Padres are the perfect place in San Diego. They're the only team in town. They freaking pack the ballpark every day. Where the heck are the Padres going to go? They ain't going anywhere. That's craziness to me, because they're going to stay right where they're at, which is in San Diego, as they should.
That's why this is just such legal, like, foo-foo fighting. Like, it's so foofy. Kratz, like, first of all, no one believed that they were relocating. But also, for me, the next layer is late stage negotiations. Okay, you were a finalist. Every team, including executives with the Padres, thought that their conversation showed them that Roki Sasaki had his mind made up and he was info sucking. He was collecting intel and playing out the process so it didn't seem like he had a predetermined decision. So I'll just add that to the table too. It's not like her words about relocation made him go, oh, what? They might not be here during the course of my career? Come on. I mean, his representation's smarter than that. They would have sat him down and said, there is a 0% chance that this team is moving. You do not have to worry about that. The legal battle has nothing to do with your career. Does it have to do with some transactional freezes right now? Yes, but it's not affecting much in his life.
This is petty. This is petty by them to say, oh, well, essentially insinuating that her lawsuit hampered the negotiations. Stop. Like, it didn't.
You're right.
Don't try to win over the kids in a divorce. Like, get it together, figure it out. What's best for the organization, what's best for the team moving forward, so that the city can get what they crave, what they come out and they win. They break attendance records all the time for. They want to see a World Series championship.
Carlos in the chat goes, let's move the team to Tijuana.
I mean, come on. Come on.
The San Diego Padres run the city for sports. They run the city.
That's the only team.
No one bought
That's the only team they have. I mean,
exactly.
That's it. The major team. Now they have, some other smaller stuff, but it's the only team they have. The Chargers gone, Clippers gone, right? They don't have a hockey team. They have I think they have a women's soccer, NWSL league team, which I think does okay. But the major four sports, they have one, and it's the Padres, and they sell that place out. How many nights last year in a row did they set attendance records? It was like new attendance record. It was every day. The people love the Padres. They're doing a great job. Their ballpark's awesome. The area has revitalized around the ballpark. It's a perfect fit. They just need to go out and continue to try to win, because eventually they'll get there.
They're going to keep filling up that ballpark too. Will they be as good this year as last year? No. Right now, their roster is not as good on paper. Some big losses. Profar, Tanner Scott, etc. Anyway,
They're still really good.
last word. No, they are still really good. I agree. Kyle Glazer, Mike Cameron, Heath Bell will join as well. Part of the FT network. It's called Friar Territory. Go check it out wherever you find shows like this. Be right back, FT fam, with Grayson Rodriguez of the Orioles. I just noticed that I was muting myself. Shout out to 1-800-Flowers.com. Valentine's Day is in 2 weeks, people. 2 weeks. Order a dozen roses and double your bouquet for free when you go to 1-800-Flowers.com/FT. Kratz, tell us what you did, you little romantic man.
I am a romantical person. So actually, the first load of 24 roses came in. I think we have a pic of it. It came in, and these roses are stout. Sometimes you go places and the roses are not like, them Johns are nice. My wife was like, whoa, they are really nice. And they also came with a box of Sherry Berry's chocolate-covered strawberries. But stay tuned because I'll have another picture of something. They do such a good job. It's not just roses. It's not just like different color roses. I got my, stay tuned. You'll see the picture soon of the flowers that really hit. My wife loves this type of flower and it's unique. So they have so many things to choose from. And they showed up today. Hoo-wee. Got some brownie points.
We'll be talking more about this. So to claim the Double Your Roses offer, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/FT. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/FT. Bouquets are selling fast. Lock in your order for your loved ones 2 weeks away from Valentine's Day. Here we go. Grayson Rodriguez back with us on FT. Good to see you, dude. And happy almost spring training to you. I've been looking forward to having you back on because last time we had you, you were freaking hilarious telling us about your text to Corbin Burns. You know, he was so lonely. It's like no one wanted him. So I really desperately right off the top here need to hear your interactions with him post signing because I'm sure you were able to give him some love about getting paid, but also it's so rude that he divorced you.
Yeah, so after he signed and the contract details and stuff came out, I texted him and I was like, hey, man, can I buy your bass boat? And he was like, well, I'm not going to sell it. And I was like, nah, buddy, you're about to go buy you a new one. And he's like, you're right. So if he does sell me the bass boat, he now has a good excuse to go get a new one. The only thing we had to figure out is how to get it from Phoenix to Texas. So, you know, that might be a little hiccup in the plan there. But, yeah, I mean, congratulations to him. So that's awesome.
Also,
Dude,
well, now –
dude, hold on. Dude, Grayson, you're rich. You can take a little puddle jumper over to Phoenix, rent a car, and just trailer that thing right back to your house. What do you mean? Or hire somebody to drive that thing. What do you mean? You don't need to worry about how to get it. That's like the least of your problems.
Well,
that thing should be when you pull up to Sarasota for spring training, that thing should be in the Ed Smith Stadium parking lot waiting for you.
No. So the good thing about Ed Smith is we do have a fishing pond behind Field 4.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do have a boat at spring training, it will be in the water behind Field 4. We'll be trolling around, kind of after the camp ends that day for sure. So maybe you could catch a fish with me, but we got to watch out for some Ryan Mountcastle homers coming over the wall at us.
Off of you. Off you.
Nope, not off me. Nope.
Nope. But actually, that actually leads me to another question. So I don't know if we've talked about this part, but is there anybody that had a better offseason than Ryan Mountcastle, reading the news about the walls ticking in a little bit for him? A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all of the right-handed hitters in our lineup, I think, have been sleeping pretty well this offseason. They're really itching to get back in there, March, April, whenever our first home game is. But, yeah, seeing that will be kind of cool because obviously our team will hit a lot more homers this year, or we'll like to think that. So it'll definitely be interesting to see kind of how the new wall plays. I know that old wall was huge, so it definitely robbed a lot of homers.
Were you mad? Were you mad they brought the wall in? Because as a pitcher, I'd be like, keep that mountain way out there as far as I can in left field. But now they're like, oh, it went for 1 year. We didn't like it. Now we need more homers. So we're bringing it back in. If I was a pitcher, I'd be a little mad.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be brought in enough to where it's really going to matter a whole lot. As a pitcher, you obviously got to look at it both ways. Yeah, I mean, you might give up another homer or two, but also, with our guys in our lineup, that's going to be a little bit more run support you're going to get every night. Now, thankfully, I think I don't know the numbers on this, but last year our lineup had to have hit the most amount of homers and runs and everything while I was pitching. So this year, if that increases, that's awesome. That I like the wall. They can move it in a little bit further in if they want to as well.
When you look at Corbin Burns' contract, hit on that again, you sit there and you look at yourself. Do you allow yourself to look at like $210 million and what that is? Or is that just so outside of your scope of the amount of money that you could make later on in your career?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lot of money. I think everybody, dreams about making that kind of money playing baseball. But I mean, for me, like right now, like obviously free agency still, a ways off. So it's just kind of about, focusing on, the upcoming season, which, I'm still not an ARB yet. So really just going out there and trying to throw the baseball, put up some good games. I mean, yeah, really not looking at the free agency contracts yet, but that definitely is impressive for sure. So it kind of makes you dream and makes you work a little bit harder in the weight room and, doing the not so fun things of baseball for sure.
Does it make you want to sign an extension with the Orioles and stay and maybe forfeit some of those $210 million, but still get some of it now?
Yeah, I mean, if that opportunity presents itself, definitely look at it. I have no problem with Baltimore. Love the fans. Love Maryland. So definitely get to do a little bit of hunting in Maryland, which is super cool. But yeah, I mean, if that opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely think about it.
You know what I love about Maryland is when you used to send me cool things like crab cakes. I haven't gotten a shipment in like 2 months, so I don't know what's going on with Jimmy's, but like I'm gonna need some more crab cakes. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm almost out of crab cakes as well. The only problem is we're going to Florida Monday, so we'll have to get them shipped there. Maybe another box will show up, depending on if Kratz is an Orioles fan this year or not. So Kratz is like my public enemy number one right now. I was watching the show earlier and he almost put me to sleep. But we'll see. So maybe Kratz will get some crab cakes this year. We'll see.
I want to know what put you to sleep. I want to know why when I picked my team to win the American League East, it was the Orioles that it put you to sleep. But I just conversate with me.
No. It was after that. It was nothing against any of our sponsors. But I don't know. Kratzy was talking about roses. I got on the show to, talk ball and listen to some of that and listening to Kratzy talk about some flowers.
No. That's love. Love is more bigger than baseball, okay? That is more bigger than baseball.
The only love we need to be talking about is the love for the game. Come on.
For the love of the game. Isn't that the Costner movie?
Ball does not stop, son.
Nope. It stops. That's how you got all those deers to run through your wall in the back of your right there. Because they got to, like, you have love. You have love. You have love for other things. I showed love to my wife. You're going down to spring training. Baseball's trying to take away the day of love from you. You're heading out. You're like, I am ready. I am so focused. I don't need love in my life. Yeah, right. You need it. You need it all, and it comes to you with 1-800-Flowers.
Yeah. I ordered my wife's Valentine's gift today, though, so that's done. That's taken care of.
There you go. What do you think about?
He hasn't been married long enough to have to send the flowers yet. Like, he hasn't gotten. They're still newlyweds, right? He hasn't been married long enough to where he's like, man, I'm just going to send my wife flowers.
Yeah, we've been. Well, it's 1:30. It's 1:30 Central Time, so we've been married for like 25 minutes now, I think. So, yeah, just over a year.
Well, Grayson, what do you think, or really more importantly, what does your wife think about pitchers and catchers always reporting around Valentine's Day?
I mean, we always go out to eat. I always try to take her on a date. I don't know. I mean, she doesn't mind it. She loves going to Florida because she gets to go to the beach, does all that stuff that I don't necessarily like. But, yeah, she has a fun time. A lot of our friends and family always come to spring training, which is super cool, getting to see them and stuff. And, obviously spring training, everything's kind of done in the morning. You get the afternoons and the evenings off and relax a little bit and, practice some baseball while you're at it.
I like it. All right, last one from me before we get to the quick hitter questions. You saw Corbin signed in Arizona. You love Texas. You spend as much of the offseason as you can in Texas. Would you love to spend your entire season, spring training, whole season, just time on the road at home? Or is it good to get away to help you to focus on the things you need to focus on in baseball?
No, I mean, obviously I love Texas. Born and raised, small town Nacogdoches. The best part about being a baseball player is the off season is hunting season. Summers here are not enjoyable. You might as well climb in an oven, and it's probably going to be cooler in the oven than it is outside the doors here, in July and August. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we did it, growing up, like in the summer playing all the baseball and stuff. Like, dang, it was hot. Like, obviously being in Maryland, it gets humid and it's warm, in the summer. But, I mean, dude, playing, in the Northeast and playing in some other states, going to California, Seattle. I mean, dude, the weather is phenomenal in the summer. Like, growing up listening to all these country songs, they're talking about how they love summer nights and summer days, blah, 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 whatever. And you're like, dude, I do not see what they're talking about because it is hotter than heck down here. And yeah, so definitely playing baseball up there in the summer is nice. It's a lot of fun. But I'm kind of glad that now I don't have to experience the summers here at home in Texas anymore. I get to go somewhere where it's a little bit cooler.
Nice. All right. Well, I have sad news for you. I have two questions for you. One, what's your go-to spot in Sarasota since you're in Sarasota? And then after that, I have a sad story that I'm going to have to tell you to kind of bring the mood down a little bit. So answer that one first, and then we'll go sad story.
Okay. Fresh Kitchen's really good. It's a good little healthy spot. And then me and DL Hall, he found a pizza place downtown, El Panificio, I believe. They've got some phenomenal pizza. That's a good little cheap meal spot too, because the pizzas are huge, and it's like the folks that work in there are Italian. I mean, like Italian, son. And their pizzas are great.
Okay. All right. Now the sad news. I'm going to have to try that out because I'm being in Sarasota next weekend, or Bradenton. So not really Sarasota, close enough. But so on February 24th, Erik Kratz is coming to Orioles camp. The sad news is I won't be there, which is actually good news for you because I was going to take you deep. So are you
chickened
happy?
Out.
No,
you chickened out. Yeah, you did. Yep. You chickened out, dude. This was known way in advance.
How did I? No.
You could have changed the schedule to be there, and instead you're not. So that's your fault. Kratzy, we'll go grab some pizza.
Okay, I love pie.
Nope, I couldn't have changed the schedule because the schedule was made without my knowledge, and so therefore, I did not get the opportunity to be.
He lives so far away.
Deep.
It's so far away.
Wow. So you're kind of at the bottom of the food chain of people that are on the show, then, huh? If you didn't have any kind of way to,
why can't I be there?
Well,
first of all, why can't I be there February 24th? Because I'm not anywhere. I'm just looked at my son's schedule. What day of the week? That can't be the right date. Hold up. Mark. Now, see, we can blame Mark Weiner for this because this is some bull crappo.
It's our executive producer who I can see is typing in our text group right
Monday, February 24th, I'm in town.
Right now. That panic button.
Yeah, because I want to take you.
He's just freaking out.
I mean, your fire hair you have right now and all. But yeah, I mean, I'm there. I'm in.
All right, type faster, Mark, because we're on television and on a show. He's typing about your schedule, but I'm not seeing what he's typing. So,
bottom of the food chain.
Mark thought I was going to be
gone. You're out of town. Breaking news: AJ will be in Sarasota to face Grayson Rodriguez. As riveting as it is for AJ to go through his calendar, we will do that post show, and then we'll get back to you.
I appreciate you calling him out.
Anyways, Kratz and I will be in Sarasota. How about that? Now you make sure you schedule a side day.
Did you see the panic on his face?
Yes.
Yeah, he was freaking out. Yeah.
Hey, one more.
All composure. Lost all composure.
Grayson, one more topic of the last couple weeks, and then Kratz will hit you with some fun quick hitter questions. Got to get your take on why you're playing this season when the Dodgers already won the World Series.
Yeah, all right.
I'm saying fans are complaining. They're like, why even play the season out? Your thoughts?
Well, there's a lot that can go wrong in a season. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, hopefully all those guys stay healthy. Obviously they're loaded on paper, but, baseball is a tough game. There's 162 games, and, according to my math, that's a lot of games. So a lot can happen. And obviously they're in the National League, so we're going to face them once, probably a 3-game series. I hadn't looked at the schedule yet. Those 3 games, obviously we're going to want to win them. I think we'll play them in Baltimore. But, we wouldn't face them again until the World Series. And, if you look at my math again, you only got to win 4 games. So a lot can happen in a 7-game series. So we'll just leave it at that. So
that's real talk.
I don't know.
That's real.
Yeah, I don't know if you can have them slotted into that number 1 spot, but just look at the freaking college football playoff this year. You had seeds 7 and 8 playing in the national championship, so you never know what could happen.
That's why you play the games. All right, my baseballism questions. Quick ones for you. We already kind of went over it, so you can say AJ, but I don't think that's your answer. Name a historical batter that you would love to face. Anybody that played in the history of baseball.
Probably Mickey Mantle. I was on Instagram today, and I think they had Topps had released that they were doing like the 1-of-1 cards. It was like a Shohei Ohtani autograph with Mike Trout, and then a Shohei Ohtani autograph with a Mickey Mantle autograph. And I was like, oh, heck. I was like, that's going to be an expensive card. And that just kind of got me thinking about Mickey Mantle, obviously being a 3-time MVP or at least a 3-time MVP. Not exactly sure how many he won. Don't quote me on that. But, definitely facing him I think would be pretty cool.
What umpire has the best strike 3 call? Do you notice it?
I don't know. I'm kind of more, a perfect umpire to me is somebody who makes a call really quick and doesn't waste a lot of time, because as soon as I throw the ball, before it even gets to home plate, I want to know if it's a ball or a strike. So, I don't know. Whoever has a quick call, though, for sure.
Okay. Something to look for this season.
Oh, hold on. Before he goes, we got to ask him about his bobblehead, right?
Oh, yes. Good
Have you
good way
seen
to
your
finish.
bobblehead? Have you seen this?
Ooh.
First of all, orange
Ooh.
pants on you is not going to be a great look. Let's just
Yes,
say
it
that
is.
right now. Like it's just not.
I'm a
It's going to
handsome.
look great.
Hey, listen. I'm a handsome looking sucker, AJ. You better
Yeah.
watch out.
You know who you
Do
look
you
like,
think that
Grayson?
bobblehead
Bad
looks
Bunny.
like?
Yeah. So a lot of my buddies like to joke and say that I have a grande cabeza. So they say that the head is proportionate on the bobbleheads. But it's a cool looking bobblehead. You know, talking with the Orioles folks that do the giveaways and stuff. I love retro uniforms. I love retro looks. So that was kind of a look that we wanted to go for. You know, obviously Jim Palmer and the boys way back then wearing the all orange uniforms, I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, go with that.
I love the orange pants look. It's fire, and it'll stand out.
They look
So many
good
bobbles.
they look good on certain people. I'm saying in real life. Now the bobblehead's cool, but so this I just want to confirm the Orioles are not wearing all orange this year every time you pitch.
I don't know.
Can't confirm or deny.
Oh!
Stay tuned. Maybe we'll find out
I
a
don't
month
know.
from now. FT at spring training in Sarasota.
Oh
be
man, I
first
better get my
question to
home run
Grayson.
trot ready.
Yeah, but
That's
listen,
next time you'll
AJ, a
see him.
lot like me and you are very similar because you know we don't make a lot of those important decisions. You know when it comes to you know our employer. So
That is true.
I'm in there
Point.
for
So
you.
now
True.
I'm there. I'm there, kid. I'm there. You talked me
oh,
right
that's a
into it.
nice mitt, huh? Looks pretty fresh.
Yeah. I never
Kratz is
played.
ready to catch.
They all stay fresh.
Yeah, can't get it
That
dirty
is
if you're
true.
not out there in the dirt.
Nope. They pay me the
What's
same.
that
That's a
smell like?
t-shirt.
Can you give us a detailed description of what the ball glove smells like?
I can't, but it smells like rich mahogany.
Flowers.
Dude, have y'all ever noticed that brand new big league baseballs smell like dill pickles? Or am I the only one that thinks that?
Are you pregnant?
Well, I'm the only person that's probably never smelled a new baseball, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, dude, like if you open, you know, because, you know, minor league balls come in the plastic packaging, you know, like little league, high school type stuff. But then the big league balls come wrapped in the tissue paper, you know, it's like super fancy. Once you rip that tissue paper off, it smells like pickles. So the next time you get that opportunity to do that, smell it, and let me know what it smells like.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
February 24th, we're going to open some pickles.
That's a question. That's a question I've been asking folks recently because I got to figure out if I'm the only one that does that or not, or at least thinks that.
I can't confirm or deny, but I know what I'm doing next time I open up a fresh set of baseballs. So done.
Yeah.
Grayson, we're gonna see you in a few weeks, dude. You got
Yes, sir.
the party, you got the combo. Good to catch up, man.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
see you in Sarasota for the big showdown.
All righty.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you very
man.
much.
Great to see you.
Yep. Catch y'all later.
All right, that was fun. And also, yes, we did see the breaking news. We'll give it to the TV crowd as well. So stay tuned. In 3 minutes, we will cover the latest signing that occurred during the conversation with Grayson Rodriguez. And you know, what's most important is figuring out calendars. That's what we do for our 2-hour show. We go through our calendars together. Okay. Exactly. That was good, Kratz. You had a 50-50 chance of looking the right way. Very well done. It's been a fun one. All right. So anyway, rest of show, we'll talk about the Kim signing with the Rays, and then we'll get back to some Phillies storylines, and then we'll call it a day. This has been a good one, getting Grayson and Tim Anderson. Also, we just got confirmation because I see my text flying during the show. I believe it's tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow we will get Teoscar Hernandez.
Teo.
And another big name guest who we have not had on yet, who we have talked about quite frequently. There is a conversation going on right now about having him on. So a lot is happening right now.
Shohei.
No. He had a maybe better offseason than Shohei. I can't say it yet, but I will say it soon. Give us on the field.
Juan
Give us
Soto?
1 minute.
Juan Soto?
No. On the field, not off the field.
Junior,
That's off the field.
Junior Camareno.
Maybe,
Fresh off
but
the
only if
Dominican
you say
League.
his name right.
Only if you get his name right. Can we get
It's
his name right?
Caminero. You said
Caminero, not
What did I say?
Camareno. Camareno.
I did.
Camareno. You said it earlier
Jeez.
too, and
That was my teammate. Sorry.
No wonder that guy on
yeah.
Twitter thought you hated his home run trot. You can't even call him by the right name.
You didn't play with him,
That's my bad.
did you?
No. Camareno I did. Not Caminero.
You did?
Yeah.
I was going to say Caminero. Would you play with him in
No.
U12?
Yeah. I am 12.
They're like, this guy doesn't look 12. Kratz coming on the field. All right. Anyway, we're back in 30 seconds to go over the Rays signing. Big news in the prospect world. Baseball America is releasing their team-by-team top 30 prospects today on the BA website. Get 30% off the first year of any annual subscription when you use the code FT30, and you can go see all of the team rankings, prospect by prospect. Is your favorite prospect on their top 30, and where do they all rank in terms of maybe the top 100? That's already up there for you. They just released that last week, so really good content. Go check it out. We have some FT breaking news. Ha-Seong Kim has signed a 2-year, $29 million contract with the Tampa Bay Rays. Opt out after year one, coming off of shoulder surgery. Ken Rosenthal just reported that he will likely be back or expected to be back in May. I remember at some point someone else was reporting like, oh, he's not going to start the season on time. It happened in the offseason. It was like, we all knew that. We saw those reports late last season. But anyway, this is a really slick defender, guys. He's coming off of shoulder surgery. I don't think either of you had a major shoulder injury in your life?
No.
AJ, I'm assuming no. Okay. So, but AJ, the question I'm leading to is 2 years, 29 for the Rays is like 10 years, or it's like 2 years, 290 for the Dodgers. Like $29 million is a lot of money for the Rays. I'm serious. So they're expecting him to be good. They feel good about the medicals. Do you think this is a good move for a team that really hasn't been talked about much this offseason besides where they're going to play?
I do think this is a great move. I think he can play multiple positions for him. I don't know if he's going to play shortstop. If Camareno, as Kratz calls him, plays shortstop, I don't know if he's playing third base or shortstop or what. But I love this move, especially defensively. He's a solid, really great defender. He figured out hitting a couple years ago. He was hurt last year, but I love this move for the Rays. And you know what? The Rays are probably hoping we'll sign him to a 2-year deal. And if he has a great year, he'll opt out. We only are on the hook for 1 year. And if he opts in, we'll trade him to somewhere else anyway. So it's a great move for the Rays for 1 year, whenever he's ready. The sad part is he won't be ready for opening day, more than likely.
Hey, this is great for him. Ha-Seong Kim gets an opportunity to, I think, play as much as possible. If you go somewhere else and you're coming off an injury, we don't know how much we can put you out there. Just really increases his value. Obviously, an injury year going into your platform year, going to free agency, that sucks. $29 million, that's great if it doesn't work out for him this year and he still has to rebuild his value the next year. But you go in, you play. That's the name of the game. You play, you get out there. And what I was thinking of when I said Camarena, Daniel Camarena, he had a grand slam against. He was a pitcher and he had a grand slam against Max Scherzer. So
there you go. Okay, so where do we have the Rays? Like, let's say Kim comes back in May and he finds it. We see the 2023 Kim, who won a utility gold glove. He was one of the best defenders in baseball. I think it was about a 5-win player, 17 homers, 38 stolen bases. He had a monster year. I mean, he's got elite range. That's still going to be there. But can he come back from this thing and look like himself? So he was diving back to first base on a pickoff attempt. It was in August. And then he tried to rehab it. That didn't work. Went through the shoulder surgery situation. The Rays need him to look like the version from 2 years ago if they're going to be competitive, because I actually think the Rays are going to be a little bit better than they were last year. And they weren't bad last year, but arms are back, AJ. And for them, arms are young and have a little more seasoning.
Where are the Rays going to be? It's a tough division. I mean, Yankees, Orioles, we just talked to G-Rod, Grayson Rodriguez. Where are the Blue Jays going to be? Red Sox are going to be better. Every time we count the Rays out, they're kind of like the Brewers. Oh, the Rays aren't going to be very good. They make the playoffs and win 90 games. I don't know. I think I like this signing because he plays defense, and with their starting pitching and what Kevin Cash and Snyder are always able to do with their bullpen, I love this because they need guys that can catch the ball.
I don't think they're passing. I don't think they're passing the Yankees. I don't think they're passing the Orioles. If you mash up the other teams there, 3 through 5, I'm good with that, but I don't think they have enough with this signing, or even with a couple other signings, little signings. I don't think they have enough to pass them. Not where both those teams are right now.
I think they're a lower ceiling, higher floor type team, right? They're not going to be bad. They're not going to be shocking the world, but they're going to be hanging around. And if some teams in the AL East crumble, they can pounce and maybe fight for a wild card.
We'll see. The AL is weaker than the NL. Let's just say that. The AL is weaker than the NL. So that's why with their pitching that they always seem to figure it out with, they have a shot. I mean, they have a shot to wiggle their way in, and nobody wants to face their starters and their bullpen if they're all healthy.
Exactly. All right, so cool move by the Rays. If you're catching this after the fact, and you can comment, send us a comment on what you think, because as small as this looks, money-wise, it is a big, big investment for the Rays to make, just based on how they operate. The Rays, the Guardians, and the Brewers basically make a lot of other teams look bad who try to copy them and don't do so successfully, but that's why they're always kind of there right now. So anyway, we'll swing right back, and we'll go over slap hands next. BetMGM futures, Red Sox win total, 85.5. I'm assuming that the Red Sox aren't going to do that much more the rest of the offseason. But if you think they are going to do a lot more, like sign Bregman, maybe you do feel good about that number. Where are we at on this one? AJ, I'll let you go first here. You got over under on 85.5 wins for the Red Sox.
I'm going to go under because I think it's like 84-ish right now. I'm going to go 80. I mean, listen, if you listen to Chuck Garfien, the reason the White Sox were terrible was because they had Erik Kratz pitching last year, which I couldn't figure out his logic there. Now the Red Sox have Erik Kratz. So maybe they're going to lose 120 games. I don't know. But I think they're more of like an 84-ish win team. I don't think they did enough. I think the rest of the division is still pretty good. I think they're around to 84, so I guess I have to go under.
Did he confuse Erik Kratz with a black cat?
Well, I understood what he was saying, but it was just funny how he's like, oh, they don't have Erik Kratz anymore, so they're going to be better. I'm like, but then why did the Red Sox give up their whole farm system for him if he wasn't any good? It was just a weird analogy, but we love our Chuck. Yes,
we do love Chuck. He's a stud. So is Kratz. Anyway, Kratz?
Under. I think it's a 500 team again. I think they're going to get some hot streaks where, they're 3 or 4 games under. They're going to get some cold streaks. I think their depth isn't quite there. I think Crochet is an awesome pickup, but Cutter Crawford and Nick Pivetta gave them a lot last year. There was a lot of surplus value. What does Lucas Giolito look like when he comes back? There's a lot of things that I think there's still some growing pains with this team. I still think they're a 500 team, so I'm going under.
Yeah, I'll go under too. I like what they did, but I feel like I've set my bar so low for them in an offseason that they didn't end up with Burns. They didn't end up with Fried. They didn't end up with Snell. They didn't sign massive, right? They tried. They're in on everyone. And then even Bregman here at the finish line, a 4-year offer when he has better offers, you're a joke. So I like the team. I think they're going to be better. I like some of the prospects, but we're not there yet. An offer for hockey fans out there. If you're placing hockey bets on the BetMGM app, each Wednesday throughout the season. Pick a skater you think is going to light the lamp first in a game. If it's not your player, but he scores the second goal of the game, you get your stake back in cash. You only get that on BetMGM Sportsbook, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Gambling problem or concern? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Be right back for Slap. We'll let you know guests and a few other things. And also, YouTube fam, stay on. We'll continue talking about the Phillies. Wow, lots of news. Tomorrow's guests, Teoscar Hernandez, Jim Bowden's back with us tomorrow. Derek Lewandowski to go over Yankee storylines. Check out Derek's show tonight, 9 o'clock on his Pinstripe Territory channel. Google it if you can't find it. Trevor May never figured out how to turn his power back on, but really it was the state of Washington. So he's going to be on Friday's show with Todd Father and Kratz and me if the power and the internet come back to life. And on that show, we'll have Ken Rosenthal, Jonathan Papelbon, and Victor Scott, the speedster for the Cardinals.
Speed.
Yeah.
No power in Washington. Sounds like he must be close to Seattle. Tell the Mariners to get away from him.
Right. That's true. That is true. That's the ballpark joke. What do you got? Quick Kratz hats.
Portland Sea Dogs. It's a whoopie pie.
You know, I've gotten a couple fans from Oregon lately have written in and been like, yo, we're getting a team. They're like, you're not talking about us. We're getting a team. And I'm like, okay.
Love that. Yes, Portland before Orlando. I'm putting it down right now. Portland before Orlando.
See, you guys are both idiots. Scott's talking about Portland, Oregon. Kratz is talking about Portland, Maine. Neither one of them's getting a team anytime soon. But you guys keep talking.
Portland, Oregon before Portland, Maine, but also before Orlando.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. Thank you for sticking up to me. Hey, Pierzynski versus Grayson Rodriguez, February 24th.
It's going to be. Oh, and you know what? I think maybe the next day we're in Bradenton, so maybe I'll challenge Paul Skeens. Let's go, Paul. Throw that splinker, baby.
Ooh-wee. And he's going to be more aggressive this year, so he might come after you. Just be careful. He told us that on
He doesn't want to walk.
Weekend.
You walk me. If you first of all, if you don't strike me out at this age, you're going to have a real talk.
Here we are. We're back. We got two more storylines to hit in the next few minutes here on the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's keep it rolling. Two more to go. Bohm's bounce back, and do we feel good about the outfield? Let's start with Alec Bohm. Erik Kratz, did you think he was going to be traded? And how will he be with this club when his name was popping up in trade rumors? Motivation, chip on shoulder status, or things are awkward?
I mean, if you're motivated on top of having 97 RBIs and a 117 OPS plus with a down second half, yeah, there's some motivation. Being traded, whether I thought he was going to be traded or not, if he got traded, oh man, they would have gotten a haul because there's team control. There is the fact that he is improved on defense. And again, 97 stakes just doesn't grow on trees. I didn't see it. I didn't see all this like Philly talk about, oh man, everybody's moving here. Could he have gone in the Tucker deal? That would have been a monster trade. So yes, he could have. Does he bounce back? If the question is his maturity needed to get amped up a little bit, hey, you know what? Anytime you get put in your place, you got benched in the beginning of the playoffs. Like that is probably more hurtful than trade speculations.
I think he's going to be fine. I think he goes back there and knowing what I know about the Phillies clubhouse, they will embrace him. They'll bring him in and they'll say, listen, dude, go shut all these people up talking about you like Erik Kratz and show them how good you can be and what you've done before. I mean, that's it. I think he'll be fine. I think he's in the perfect situation, in the perfect clubhouse to have guys say, we got your back, bro. Go out and play and do what you did last year.
And I would say the Phillies are probably the second most popular team among players when they talk about atmospheres they want to be around. Dodgers get number 1 in the power rankings right now. Someone on our show the other day said, hey, a lot of people would love to be with the Phillies too.
Jack Flaherty.
That's right. Jack Flaherty said it. Okay, last topic, last big storyline for the Phillies. They did a little work, a little maintenance, a little touch-up on the outfield. Do we feel like they're in a good spot now, AJ? Do you like Max Kepler added to the mix here? I mean, this should be a nice ballpark for him to smash if he can stay on the field.
What's his position? I mean, what's his role going to be? Because you have, Castellanos, is Rojas going to play center field? Where's he going to play? Because he was not a great outfielder. He's a good outfielder, not a great outfielder. So I just want to see where he hits in this lineup. They've already, when does he get his playing time? How much does he get to play? Because he can be effective when healthy. I hate using the when healthy, but right now we have to, because Max Kepler, when he's good with the Twins and healthy, he was productive. He just had a lot of time that he missed, whether his fault or not, but I need to see him healthy. And if he is, he can definitely help these Phillies.
He's going to play left field, even though he's only played right field the last several years. I feel like he can handle it, but that's going to be the spot for him, right, Kratz? Because Schwarber clogs up the DH, and then Castellanos plays right, and then you've got left field Kepler, who should be fine, and then it's Rojas and Marsh handling center field. Do you feel good about that outfield mix? Because productivity-wise, in terms of WAR and defense and all that, it did not grade out well, the outfield last year.
No, it didn't. I think you have elite defense in center field if Rojas is your guy. I think this really all hinges on Brandon Marsh. What kind of leash are they going to give him? Will he get to face lefties more than 47 times? He had 47 plate appearances against lefties. So the answer is probably no. They're saying no, he can't do it. To me, I think they should let him, and I think he could slide over if Max Kepler starts to have a good year. He could slide over to center field and take care of some of that offense that Rojas doesn't give you necessarily. But then you bring Rojas in as a defensive replacement, kind of in the ilk of a 2014 Royals, a team I played on, bringing Gerard Dyson, that type of thing. We're getting into the weeds too much with it. To me, I think Max Kepler is a good pickup. They've tried right-handers out there. They've tried right-handed hitters other years. Now they might go with like a Marsh Kepler type of thing. And then Wes Wilson's also going to get some opportunities when they face lefty. So they're going to be fine. They're going to be good. Are they better? That's too hard to say.
Wes Wilson's going to have a hard time making this team with the way it's constructed right now, because where's he going to play? He's not playing the outfield above those other 5 guys you just named.
He's playing super utility bench.
4 guys. Yeah, he's a right-handed bat off the bench.
Castellanos plays every day, right?
Plays every day.
So Kepler and Wes Wilson. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like if you sign Max Kepler, he's got to play every day. Just my opinion.
Okay. So if that's the case, then I push Marsh out. But I don't know that Kepler can play center field, because then you're not playing. The issue is you're not playing Marsh against lefties. That's what happened last year.
That's why you have Rojas.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
No, I hear you. But I think Wes Wilson, they feel like Wes Wilson will give them something more than because he's not playing first base. He's just that right-handed bat off the bench that I think they're going to give him some shots out and left, especially with what he did. He's killed it since he's been up there.
And they might have the best rotation in baseball. I would say Phillies, maybe Diamondbacks, depending on if things, look okay.
Mariners?
And obviously, oh, damn. There's some good rotations. Mariners and obviously the Dodgers have
Phillies,
sick rotation, but I just get worried about the innings there. All right. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Phillies storylines. If you want more on the Phillies, we've got multiple episodes per week on the Phillies show. It's part of the Foul Territory Network. You can catch it wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to listen in the car, if you want to watch it, go to their YouTube channel. It's Todd Zalecki and Jim Salisbury, who are as dialed in on the team as anyone. And then Ruben Amaro, who ran the team at one point, the former GM and former player. Thanks, FT fam. All right. So that's it for the show. little bonus action for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Tim Anderson and Grayson Rodriguez for joining us, both fun guests. This was a good one. That's why we have FT. See everyone tomorrow. We got a good guest list the next couple days. Thanks for hanging with us, FT fam.